There's not much to talk about here, except that everything in this game that comes in 2 gives me PTSD. That map I played so long ago. Not literally 1 second, there's a troll. Let's see if I can... What the? Trolls, trials, tribulations. What's the point of it all? You make it through these cubes that can disappear or break. A tank spawns in front of you out of nowhere, and he can hit a tree that KOs everybody. This little part with the tree branch is purely luck based. You just gotta pray that the tank will miss his freaking punch on the tree branch and that it doesn't hit you. The tank's AI is basically just showing off on this map. It's insane. So far visually, it adapts that orange map look with Bill watching over us. Probably symbolic that we'll suffer the same fate when it comes to these freaking tanks bee-hopping like if it was something normal. Somehow the tanks know what platforms are trolled. The fake platforms, which are blocks, are randomized, which in my opinion is kind of impressive. Also, the tank can trigger other tank spawns. The second part of this map has moving blocks that makes the bots jump off the ledge. Invisible ladders, jockey trolls. Other than that, there's really not much to talk about. Everything here is basically something we've experienced before in other custom maps, even down to the trolls. Chapter 2 basically is the exact same thing as the last chapter.
Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, that's why.
Smoke respawns and bad AI pathing. This time, tier 2 weapons inside of a hammer editor box. Skipping all the parkour and stuff, there's a room with an arrow that points at Bill. It's just another troll. Nothing of importance here, except you dying. The trolls are so bad that it looks like you're dying out of nowhere.
Okay, it does down you.
What? Where'd I go down from? And I'm dead. So this map has a flow is broken error, Gmod style. It introduces a couple of things later in by Mountain too, like for example the turrets with the spotlights, but it seems like they're bugged out for the most part in this campaign. Of course, the tank spawns are plentiful to the point where fighting them isn't really an option anymore, and there's no ammo piles, so it all comes down to running and luck on this chapter. The music the map forces you to listen cannot be turned off unless you mute the game.
Wait.
No, muting the music option doesn't do anything. And that's pretty much it for this chapter. The one thing I don't understand is that in chapter 1, the custom music was optional. And in chapter 2, all of a sudden the map creator feels the need to force you to listen to this music. It's probably copyrighted. It's repeating the same things we've seen before, but adding an explosive block as something new. You already know it. Instant tanks, exploding blocks that bots love to run into, and even more fake blocks. Touching the smoker somehow spawns a horde. Falling off the map has this funny interaction, which gives you an idea of a massive shortcut that was figured out by complete accident. If you do not go through this falling block, you are looking at an extra 7 to 10 minutes of map and tank spawns. This block goes down to the bottom and will teleport you past a long hallway with tanks and branches. It even skips the climb up to this pyramid, which spawns even more tanks. The next area is parkour hell. These moving blocks are tiny, laggy, and slippery.
And it's slippery.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Where do you even go from here? Well, you look at the edge and you slowly but surely go down this tower. How you're supposed to find that out is beyond me. It leads to nowhere. Well, that's what the map creator intended you to do is...
So if you fall over here, you'll die. The trigger is right here in this spot. Alright, well, you're still good, but the tank... Oh, well, that teleports you back. Ah!
Any normal player wouldn't even know there's a trigger there, because the map does nothing to show you that that specific spot prevents you from taking fall damage. Literally anything would have helped. Once you hit the bottom, there are 2 doors. One of them just teleports you back to the start of the parkour, and the other one teleports you forward. To give the map credit, the correct door has a green color, which matches the other green door that you can see from the bottom. After jumping across these 2 platforms, 2 tanks spawn behind you, forcing you to rush ahead. Guess what? There's a dead end, and a 3rd tank that spawns right on top of you. These maps are all the same. These creators must have like a freaking thing for tanks or something, because they all spam the same enemy. Since there's a dead end here, you have to somehow kill these tanks in such a confined space. Once you kill them, you have to shoot the floor to break it, which leads to the safe house. But don't worry, this map has one one last gift if you somehow made it past all those tanks. The last floor is made in a way where if you're standing on the platform, you will fall into a pit of infected and die from fall damage. Why the map creator has to do that is just, he just wanted to give you a middle finger. That's the main reason. Chapter 4 starts as the last 3 chapters with tanks, except this time it's a race. There are 8 walls blocking this path, and you have to destroy them with the minigun and weapons you are given, all while the tanks spawn behind you infinitely. This part of the campaign is literally impossible in solo. You just don't have the firepower to destroy the walls in time before the tanks reach you. Even with an auto shotgun, which is the best weapon for this, you still struggle to break the walls in time. There's nothing you could really do here when you're playing alone. It's pretty sad actually.
I actually want to keep my AK because...
Yep, you can tell if there was no playtest. Shooting at the wall from spawn will take forever, but it at least guarantees that you'll get past this point if you were playing alone. Once you're outside, the map just turns into this gauntlet of climbing down invisible ladders and fighting tanks non-stop. And to spice up the first tank spawns, the tanks spawn on top of you. There are some items available and weapons, but the map gives you nowhere near the bare minimum to deal with these tanks. To make matters worse, you have to listen to this obnoxious music again.
Can't even mute this shit.
At least the first chapter had the option of turning it off, but now the map creator must think this music is so good that he has to force you to listen to it. Eventually you'll come across a bridge where the map creator decides that he didn't spawn enough tanks yet. Without a Molotov, don't even try to attempt this. Even if you kill all these tanks, it'll probably take you an hour at least. Then you gotta climb down these janky ladders that feel like glue. Everything is spawning before your eyes. The tanks are everywhere. The design is clowny. So many tanks. Tanks spawning ahead of you, behind you, above you, y-axis, z-axis, the east, the west, the north, south. And inside you, it's just a disaster. At this point, the map creator has completely given up and is just dropping tank spawns left and right. I can only see this being possible with 4 players, because the only way you can get past these tanks is if one person takes the aggro while the other one just runs away. Just to put the icing on the cake, map creator throws one last curveball at you. Random wood spawn. Wow, as if 50 tanks wasn't enough to stop the player. When will the map stop relying on the tank? If I wanted to play with just tanks, I would have just played Tank Run. In fact, this map is basically Tank Run because that's all you've been doing the moment you loaded into chapter 1. Run away from tanks. Honestly, I have no words to describe this chapter. You can tell the map creator was getting burnt out because this whole final chapter is a huge arena with one single texture. It's so ginormous that none of the infected can reach you. The finale is laughably easy compared to the rest of the last 4 chapters. Map creator must have forgot that ammo exists because instead of tier 2, we still get tier 1 even in this last chapter. There's this issue that I've only ran into this chapter, and it's mainly because of how big the chapter is, or well, how big the arena is. There's a handful of items around, but items like pills and adrenaline shots, they just blend in with the white texture. I'm not joking, it's almost like they're camouflage. Starting the finale requires you to interact with Bill. There is no insane trolls, there is no spawning a bunch of tanks, it's just a normal finale, but with just a single pistol. And the end of the finale is a T-posing Bill with an orange texture that floats up. This is as lazy as it gets. I'm not sure if there was a story or maybe a narrative that we were supposed to follow, and then maybe there was some symbolic storytelling like in Buy a Mountain. But I don't know how this would tie into anything other than it's just random. And to be fair, even if there was a story, I would not care enough to look into it, simply because I'm too focused on getting past the map's trolls. Finally, even in the finale, he added his own music. I don't even know what to say about this music. It's from Attack on Titan. At least it isn't that bad compared to the rest of the music I've heard. Any music at all is bad because 99% of the time it's just ear raping you for no reason. It's like the map creators put the freaking volume to 100% and you're forced to listen to it to the point where it overrides any special affected sounds. This map is a 1 out of 10 simply because I cannot find any reason to give a higher score. There's no playtesting, no care, no effort. The best chapter was probably the second chapter, only because it didn't make me want to rip the hair out of my head. You gotta remember, each time you fail in these chapters, which these chapters can span over an hour, you have to start from the beginning and do all the trolls over again. And that's not even mentioning the aesthetics of the map. There are no aesthetics. It looks like a worse version of By Mountain. The only saving grace of this map is that it's only 5 chapters long, so you won't spend a whole freaking weekend just trying to beat it. Well, 4 really, since the finale isn't really anything. It's honestly kind of eerie how the finale changes so drastically compared to the rest of the 4 chapters.
Don't go to the right side at all. Only left.
See if I can. What the? No!